Greetings and salutations. I'm Ekamek. This is Let's Play Fatal Frame. Very clearly, because in the last episode we used a camera to capture ghosts. Well, I guess it's not. It's more Sly 2 Band of Thieves, isn't it? Okay, that does not work. I thought it would. In this episode we have to do Mojo Trap action. I have very strong memories about this level. It's not there! Okay. Right. But we'll discuss that when we get to it. Go to sleep. Forever. This is a very morbid world when you consider that, well, you've got guillotines and hanging cages for torturing people, all sorts of horrible things. But it's also a really cool aesthetic. I cannot deny that.
That's it! I knew she'd have a bad mojo collector to transport the overflow.
Huh?
It's a semi-magical device that sucks up bad mojo. I'll need it to gather the runoff from these spouts.
Wow, sounds easy.
Not really. Bad mojo is a powerfully dark force. Take any damage while carrying that collector and you're done for.
Wow, sounds hard.
Yes, it presents an interesting tactical challenge. Perhaps I could use the death traps native to these crypts against any foe that might attempt to thwart my collection of the ectoplasm.
Huh? No way that'll work. I'd use that switch to smash up the guards before they ever got near me.
Precisely. Once all 4 cylinders of the collection device are full, that should be enough black magic to destroy the Mind Shuffler.
Alright, so, like other missions of its type, this has an invisible counter for enemies. Basically you have to defeat a certain amount of enemies to complete the mission. It's also one of those back loot missions, meaning if you take a single hit, then its mission failed. But this is actually the point of the game where they start making these things. In the previous ones, the painting would be destroyed if you took a hit, or you would lose the bug if you took a hit. Now it's actually hazardous to your health if you take a hit. We're going to get guards popping out through over there. Since Bentley isn't good at fighting, he can do this. Uh-oh.
It's still resetting! It's not ready yet! Reset!
So you can always run over here to lure them back into the trap. Each enemy you defeat should...
It hasn't reset! It's not ready yet!
go back in!
Eat that!
They do drop medicine, but it might be a bad idea to try and get it. I believe the ones on the edges recharge faster than the one in the middle.
Looks like the spouts run out of bad mojo. No matter, I'm 1/4 of the way to a full tank.
So yeah, this isn't the only one. Now we have to sneak around the castle with an explosive strapped to our backs.
I'm not really sure how to use your computer, but a new crypt should be up in your binocular.
I should also point out that as the mission goes on and you get more tanks, when you take a hit from a guard, the explosion gets bigger. So at the moment I think you just get a red barrel sized explosion, but by 3/4 full it's going to be the size of a it'll look like the castle itself exploded. Hopefully we're not going to see that. Oh yeah, and like usual, rock throws aren't a... Yep, yeah, just like a red barrel. Still, how did we get 2 flashlight guards on top of each other like that? That was a weird spawn. Oh, maybe it was a misspawn for that guy up on the catwalks. Anyway, the next location is over there. And it's not this one here, huh? I think that door actually plays into later on. Like, after we complete this one, there'll be a mission sending us there later. Is it just me, or does this truck look an awful lot like the one from the Jewel Thieves? And it's weird because I remember this interesting match 3 game called Jewel Thief, obviously. Where you had, it was actually a story, it actually had a pretty interesting story for just being a simple puzzle. Basically, you had... I don't exactly remember whether she was government funded or whatever, but she was an international jewel thief by night, but by day she was a jewel smith. So she'd make... And you had 2 versions of those puzzles. As a jewel smith you have limited... As a jewel smith you'd have limited turns to match things up, and you had to get certain gems in order to complete the request. But at night, you had laser tripwires to deal with, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but if the laser tripwire caught you, then it would start throwing in locked areas, and if it reached the top without you making enough correct matches to deactivate the alarm, then game over. Or maybe you got 2 tries with that, I don't know. Anyway, we have a new puzzle set up. Middle one activates the spikes. Right one activates the axe. And the left one activates the knife trap. The thing is, all you really need is this one because it recharges really quick, and if you time it right, you can catch one right before he leaves, and one right before he arrives. Decapitation. I thought the guillotine was outside. Bentley also has a couple of kill quotes, and it's kind of hilarious slash morbid. Oh, I guess it's not an invisible counter. It's right there on the right side where there's a health bar. It's just that I know from experience that if you try and, well, trank dart a guard and just hold him in place constantly, you never get more bad mojo until you finish off all the guards, so you can't complete it without these death traps taking everyone out. I also remember actually thinking that in the Binocucom conversation for this, I thought that it was that Murray understood what Bentley was saying, but he was saying, no, not Mike. You have to take these guys out. Don't even give them the chance of posing a problem. KO them before they even get near you. But I guess the joke is that Bentley says it technically, and then Murray goes, huh? No, and just tells him the exact same plan again in layman's terms.
Another chamber in my mojo collector is full. Moving on to the third crypt.
And Murray, as usual, will have something to say.
There should be a new waypoint in your binocucom.
Not exactly special, but... I also don't get why it's Murray who's on the other end and not Sly, because Sly isn't actually... Right, that was where the Sly mission was. Sly isn't doing anything else. There's no real reason why he shouldn't be on the other end. I guess they just really wanted a conversation between Murray and Bentley. Okay, run for it. Get to the door. Get in. Technically, smart guards will lead their shots and have slight shot variance. You just don't get a chance to really see it because their attacks are so dang fast. Also, I remember this one. This one, you don't have a safe place. So you're going to spend a lot more time evading people here. The right and left traps do this. The middle trap does this. You can actually hit yourself with that one if you're positioned incorrectly for it. And the middle trap is actually sleeping gas, so I think it's best for when you're about to be overrun.
Need more time. This one's still out.
Yeah, we need the sleeping gas. And then you can go to town with bombs.
Eat that.
So yeah, this one's a bit trickier.
That'll hurt.
I guess you can do a bit of kiting with these flattening traps,
Come on. It's not ready yet.
but not too much, otherwise bad things happen. Again, we're past the halfway point. This is not supposed to be easy. Oh, you... I don't think that was intentional, but it's funny.
That is king.
I don't know how it sent him straight into the furnace, but...
This'll hurt.
I don't plan on having all the voice line dialogue on the screen because it's just flavor text. But I guess... we can turn the music down a little bit so we can hear it better. But I don't think I turned it down properly actually.
Hands up.
Yep, that one isn't working.
Eat physics.
We need the sleep gas trap. And we actually can't get any more guards once we reach a certain number, so... yeah, there is a point where you just want to take the sleep gas trap as it is. I actually remember these recharging a lot faster than they did. You're telling me, Bentley. You are telling me. I want to say that sleep gas trap takes longer to charge than the others. And of course, there's nothing stopping you from using your gadgets. It's just really tricky with how things are. Because after all, Bentley has the weakest attack and they have pretty good reach.
Sorry about that. That does it for this room. Looks like I've only got one more crypt to go.
Those aren't just crushers, they're crushers with spikes. Insert panel advertisement for Portal 2 here.
I just sent you another waypoint, but it's kind of buried in the well. Yeah, you'll figure it out.
So, what does Murray mean? Sir, do not do that. I have a bomb. In. I have a bomb. Do not test me. Although maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it just stays the small explosion and I'm thinking of a different era. So this one does actually get out of hand pretty quickly. The idea is this. The close one at the back activates an electricity trap that clears the entire room. The left, middle, and right will temporarily activate death traps on those 3 platforms in front of them. The guards are going to wait on each. Basically, they come in sets of 3, or rather, they'll pick a platform to wait on. You have to hit it, but if the platform shows up, then they'll get across it by jumping onto it and then onto this side. And it just gets really tricky when there's one on the right and one on the left, because basically they go left, middle, right, repeat, and so on. And they do actually come out in sets of 2, so if there's one jumps out onto the right, and then one immediately jumps onto the left, it's very hard to keep them off. But thankfully there's also all that water, so you can use your basic attack to push them off.
That'll hurt.
There are fire chimneys on the left and right, but a drop trap on the center. Thankfully, these reset very quickly.
Eat physics. Eat that.
There is a very narrow window of opportunity for getting that one. For getting the left and the right, but you've got to be really quick, don't you?
Sorry about that.
There's also 2 spouts here, interestingly.
The coup de grace. All right, the deed is done. With a mojo collector at full capacity, I should be able to blow the clockwork eyes off that mind shuffler. This is going to be great. All right, fellas, let's get down to business. The first steps to escalating the war between Neela and the Contessa have gone well. We're down to the final setups before we spring our trap. Sly, I need you to steal a voice modulator from the castle and install it under Neela's headquarters. If all goes as planned, it should allow us to give orders to our mercenaries without being detected. Unfortunately, Neela's recent bomber purchase has made her army over-enthusiastic, and they might strike before we're ready. Which leads me to Murray. I need you to hotwire one of the Contessa's tanks and go to town on the mercenaries. We just need to intimidate them a little. And finally, I'll venture back into the crypts to power up that old computer in the re-education tower. We're going to need it to save Carmelita. Oh, and Sly, if you haven't already got one, you'll need to buy a paraglider for the heist. Okay, let's move out!
Yeah, paraglider is mandatory. So, this mission, I said that I had very strong memories about it. That's because it's my favorite mission. It very well might well be my favorite mission in the game. And I just sounded really reluctant about it because false advertising. Anyway, technically, we don't need to do the Murray one until last. That's just flavor text for a reason for Murray to drive a tank. But I guess we can do it first because, well, it's a short mission. And technically, lore-wise, we do need to do it first.
Murray,
Oh.
use both analog sticks to drive the tank. Press both up to move forward, both down to go in reverse, and in opposite directions to rotate. To fire your turret, tap the R1 button. You'll need to take out 6 tanks to get the job done.
Here we go. The seat's gotta go back farther than this.
It's an interesting design choice to make it that you use the left and right analog sticks to control the treads.
Remember, hold sticks up to move forward, hold down for reverse, and in opposite directions to rotate.
I would also
button fires your turret.
point out that the tank, so they don't actually react to it, but you basically want to ambush these guys because they basically attack and deal about as much. They're basically copies of you. They take about as much damage as you do, they deal about as much damage as you do, and they fire about as quickly as you do, so yeah, try to sneak up on them. It can be a bit tricky to learn this, actually. So just hang back, wait for him to loop around again, and then drive up behind him and blast his brains out.
I'm on fire!
Well, okay, maybe I shoot a little bit faster, but still, you don't want to hit them from the front. Also, we kind of destroy things that we're not used to being able to destroy. I find it kind of funny that those wolf guards actually don't react to your tank because, well, it's one of the Contessa's tanks. Right, that guy's going to come up here, I'm sure.
I have no two-legged equal.
Pull out of sight. Yeah, basically that plaza is a great way to get ganged up on. I would also recommend getting used to these controls because this isn't the only time you're going to do it, and you're going to have a lot better stakes the next time.
I'm unstoppable.
Uh-oh, we're trapped. So did I. Dual shock vibration. Oh. He hit the wall. Okay. I think that if I break those benches and tables over there, it should drop a little bit of health. But I want to do a sneak attack here. Even though it's from the front. Health! We also aren't allowed to drive up there. Tank barricades. Oh, there goes the lion head. There we go, almost good as new. Yeah, you do get used to it after a while.
Nice work, Murray. That should cool down those mercenaries for a while.
And yeah, next time on Let's Play Sly 2 Band of Thieves, we do the other two jobs we need to complete this episode. Until then guys, take care. We'll see you all around. Ooh, I'm actually going to need to do a clue bottle run, aren't I? And get that one. That's... Alright, before we end the episode actually, I need to figure out how I'm supposed to get that one in the middle of all those tanks. We have 3 minutes and it's right there. That tank is... his turret's on backwards. Anyhow. Oh, I get it now. Why use Sly when I can use Murray? Oh man, the statues are actually still gone. Which were the two missions actually? The Sly one is the one that actually gets us access to the clue bottles, so I think a lot of early next episode is going to be spent on finding where those remaining clues are. I'm sure there'll be one hidden here, and there is. And there might actually be one here in the moat. For some reason I thought the boat was half the speed. Camera suddenly went the other way from where I was expecting, weirdly enough. Alright, I guess it's not that boat isn't completely useless. I did get to use it once. And there's a bottle over there. Yeah, those bombers. Occasionally you'll see them drop things. There'll be a red mark on the ground shortly before a bomb hits. Sometimes it'll land on guards, sometimes it'll just land near enough that the guards will have the alert. You'll hear a sound, they'll turn around and see you instantly. I always get caught out by the aerial swing suddenly abandoning physics completely. Anyway, I did actually record more like I said, which means I should stop recording right about now. Wait, clue. I hear the clue. Okay, 3 bottles left. We'll find that next time. Until then, guys, take care. We'll see you all around.